Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of STSL Off the Track, and it is now week 25 of the long Monster Truck season in the very big 2-6. A lot of stuff this happened this last week, especially another Mudfest that we almost went a whole year without. Uh, we'll talk about that here soon. Another debut or identity debut in Lexington, Kentucky, and also shows that happened in the Father's Day weekend this last weekend. So, starting us off, of course, this guest we have for tonight is starting off with Nafajan.
That is right. It's Nafajan coming to you from Honolulu, Hawaii. I've been on a plane for 8 hours to get here. It's currently 4:02 in the afternoon. This is a part of a graduation present for graduating college. And not even 2 hours since we checked in, but I'm still here with the boys, ready to talk about some monster truck stuff.
Also with us here tonight is Jackinator.
What's up? I'm here. This might be my last episode of the summer because I'm going to be very busy next month. So we're going to make this one count 'cause we got some exciting stuff to talk about.
And of course, this is the go home to. Actually, not the go home to. We're the week before the World Finals now. A lot of things have been here popping up here and there. Uh, how excited are you guys for World Finals next week?
Pumped. It's going to be, I have like super high. I mean, last year we had 24. This year is 28. That alone is a big deal. Everyone's going to get to sit together for skills and high jump. That's exciting. And man, the LCQ, anyone could win the LCQ and it would be super exciting, except for, Chelsea Van Cleve. But yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I won't be present at this year's World Finals, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how it goes, especially with the re-expanded field and the kind of the new shift in the competitions with some of the more smaller competitions on the first day. And racing and freestyle still kind of being their own days, but the split format. Going to be interested in seeing how all of that turns out.
Right on. So, of course, we start off every episode with Sports World with Nafajan. So, coming from Hawaii, what's been going on lately in the last uh, pre 8 hours from that flight?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's been happening in the past week, as a matter of fact, especially with the World Cup, which is one of the biggest tournaments that only happens once every 4 years. Right now, the United States, knock on wood, they're looking at like one of the best teams right now in the whole tournament. They just recently got a big win against Australia in their group. I believe they won that game at 2-0. Yes, 2-0, which was on Thursday, I believe, or Wednesday, Thursday or Friday. They beat Australia 2-0. Currently undefeated in their group. A few more undefeated teams of their group include Mexico, which is 2-0 in Group A. You have Germany in Group A. They're 2-0 right now, have not lost a game yet. France in Group I, they are still undefeated, along with Argentina. And you also have England and Colombia. They've only won one game right now. Well, they've only played one game, and that is a win. So still waiting to see how these other groups finish out, who will be moving on to the next round. But it is shaking up to be a very exciting World Cup tournament in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And moving on to NASCAR as well. Recently, it was the Naval Base Coronado. That's where they was at. It's the Anduril 250. And your winner was Corey Heim. What the heck? Look at this guy getting a win in the number 67 car. Don't you teenagers start that. All right. Finishing in second place was Bubba Wallace. In third place, Kyle Larson. Fourth place, Zane Smith. And AJ Allmendinger wraps up the top five. So interesting finale finishing results for this race. And next up, it is going to be the Toyota Safe Mart 350, which is at Sonoma Raceway in Sonoma County, California. And right now is the Men's College World Series, and it's the finale. It's the final game of the series, best of three. And Oklahoma and North Carolina were tied at one apiece in the series. North Carolina just scored a run as of right now, the bottom of the seventh, but Oklahoma is winning 9-2 right now. So unless North Carolina does something crazy, pull something out of the hat, looks like Oklahoma will be the next national champions of baseball. So that's going on right now. Lane, is there anything happening right now in the wrestling world? I know there's some big stuff happening in Saudi Arabia soon, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that is right. Night of Champions is around the corner. Um, both the Queens and Queen, excuse me, the Queens and King of the Ring tournaments are, I think, about done. They're just both on the finals matches. As for the women's, I don't know who's facing each other. As for the men's, right now, it's gonna be Obafemi versus Jey-Su, which in the latest promo from today's Raw from London, they Oba absolutely cooked Jay. I mean this respectfully, disrespectfully, and with 100%, with 1,000%. I hope Jay dies from in the hands of Oba. Like
Oh, wow.
Jay's washed, bro. Like it's not that he's done with us. We're done with him. Like he's just an entrance gimmick. His whole entire style in the ring is just absolutely washed. He's been over for like the last year or so. But now it's like he's getting a little air. It's like the one irritating spot you can't seem to scratch. Um, and he is in the he's in the King of the Ring finals against Oba, and Oba absolutely killed him in the promo. He said, I don't remember exactly what, but he just really did say like, either way, if you win or lose, I'm still destroying you. Like you're gonna die, buddy. Um, which Obafemi's a big dude, man. Like literally, I think you got to see him, recently in Knoxville, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, and that's when nobody wanted to wrestle against him. So he just went in the back, brought out his own competition, and just beat him instantly.
Yeah, Oba is like so over with the crowd right now. Dude's big. Dude's literally massive, in both ways. Um, but yeah, I think as far as I know, Night of Champions, I think is this upcoming weekend. I think it's this upcoming weekend since they're in London. Um, that's as far as I know. I don't really know anything else in terms of WWE wise. Um, but yeah, there'll be something to see. I absolutely just gonna kill Jay. Um, as other than that, I don't think there's anything else in terms of wrestling wise.
Well, let's go on to the truck jams because I think that's all we have in the sports world right now.
Yeah. So that's without further ado. Let's go on to the shows we had this past weekend. Starting off with Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glowing Fires in Spokane, Washington. This is the West Coast lineup. Rochester's New York also held Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live with the East Coast tour. Shediac, New Brunswick. This is an interesting name. Shediac Center for Speed. That's an interesting name for a show. Shediac, New Brunswick, I think. With Excavator, Gage, and Jersey Bursey. Which of course, I wish Max was here, but I know Jack knows, and not. I think we all three know the reference of Gage Bursey. I was really hoping I would get to yell that out this last weekend in Dacono. But Excavator with the Bursies both driving, and Jim Pigeon with Extreme Jim. Epic Monster Truck Tour in Omak, Washington, with Barefoot Paul Craighead, Captain USA Jeff Bainter, Geronimo Reincarnated Rob Putre, and Rampage Andy Sevier. Wahoo Monster Truck Tour in St. Michael, North Dakota, with Boss Gator Brian Leach, Carolina Crusher James Owens. Oh, suddenly just back like that. Double Trouble Travis Groth, Dryer Money Jared Compton, Werewolf Stanley Hernandez, and the veteran Tyler Groth. Monster Trucks Maniac in Annex, Texas, with Crazy Heifer Cody Dugas. Fire Hazard Chris Davis. Ghost Rider Johnny Davenport, King Crunch Dylan Finley, and of course the legend himself David Smith driving Nitro Hornet. Monster Truck Bash in Chillicothe, Ohio. Equalizer Rylan Hawkins, Godzilla David Rife, Rage in the Cage Ryan Holman, and Rescue Racer Josh Holman. Bluffdale, Utah had the Insanity Next Level Tour. Of course, we saw the Crazy Crash from the Insanity Next Level Tour. I believe with Wally Turner on that crash. Part of the lineup also was Dragon Slayer, Caden Morris, Hillbilly Tim Manchester, and Midnight Panic Leader Latham. Bowling Green, Ohio, with the Monster Truck Wars. This, as I just learned thanks to Hobbo, they called this the Murphy Show, even though it's a Wars promoted show. Though they called it the Murphy Show because it's all mostly Murphy trucks. Of course, I mean this with locomotive driven by Justin Murphy, Shark Attack, Jeff Murphy, T-Rex, Thomas Kimmons, and Wicked Sickness, Mark Andrew, Monster Madness in Woodstock, New Brunswick, Anger Management, Dale Eve, Helion, Richard Bernier, Lauren Dirty, Perry Como, Sabotage, Brendan Behan, Trainwreck, Matt Briand, Crescent City, California, Malicious Monster Truck Tour. Of course, the same lineup as always. Elbows Up, Joe Briggs, Identity Theft, Miles Parker, Mixed Up, Gavin Sell, Rockstar, Bullet Pain, Spitfire, Nick Jones, North Bay, Ontario, and Barrie, Ontario, Monster Spectacular. Same lineups for both shows, including Black Stallion, Mike Waters, Hydrocation, Chris DeHoyos, Overkill, Evolution, Mike Waters Jr., and Superfoot, Easton Nuttall. In one of these arenas, that looked pretty safe. Where Overkill Evolution is performing a nose wheelie just right under the scoreboard. That looked pretty safe. Don't we agree?
Why? Whose idea was it to just keep the video board there? Like that's such a hazard. Like a truck just gets a 5-foot jump, and pow, there goes the video board.
Either that or like the arena is like that low. Because I did see it was like one section in seats as well. One whole entire bowl row, I mean. Next up is Full Throttle Monster Trucks in Corydon, Indiana, which featured American Scout Colton Kaiser, the return of the blue and teal Bigfoot body with Roger Gage behind the wheel. Of course, this was the winner of the Bigfoot 50th anniversary body tournament, paint scheme tournament from last year. I don't remember the announcement when they said that this body was going to make a return. I don't know if this is just temporarily or for the show only, but great to see an old 90s body back. Of course, one of the most epic ones from Bigfoot. Country Strong, Eric Howe, Monkey Business, Thomas Borders, Ray Besso's Powertrain, Jasmine Borders, and Stomper, Vidal Manskog. This lineup was also the same one for Litchfield, Kentucky, the day before. Millville, New Jersey had KSR Motorsports, Backdraft, Justin Perkins, Bad News, Travels Fast, Brandon Duro, Killer B, Joe Jenkins, Metal Monster, Shane Grunseth, Plain Hooky, JRC Sock, and The Ripper, and I believe its first show ever. And it's, 6 years existence? 7 year existence of this chassis and truck itself. I think this is its first competition ever, of which no one has talked about as far as I know. We also had the Mud Bowl in Caribou, Maine, featuring the Crush Station with Greg Wickenbach, Kraken, Nick Pagarillo, Lumberjack, Zach Wickenbach, and Misfire Brooke Pagarillo. Fort Smith, Arkansas, Crush Zone with Bad Decision, Alec White, Barbarian, Devin Jones, Gunslinger, Ricky Fowler, and Nightlife, Aaron Basil. San Bernardino, California, saw 2X Monster Trucks Live with Enforcer, Brandon Galley, Jacqueline Hyde, Corey Keinel, Playing for Keeps, Tony Canita, Rowan Rex, Gino Keinel, The Felon, Gabe Montoya, and of course, Fountain City, Wisconsin, saw 2X as well with Bounty Hunter, Jimmy Green, the new King Sling, not the Extreme King Sling, the new King Sling, not even the mud truck, the new race truck with Jeremiah Peras, Scarlet Bandit, Don Green, and Shark Bite with Dan, the Man Dahlgren.
Yeah.
And next up, we had Berlin, New Jersey, Renegade Monster Trucks with Dirt Crew, Tommy Varalone, Maximus, Nate Kirchner, or Braided Hawk Warrior, as one of the guys said in that picture, with the mohawk completely just braided for some reason. Velociraptor Preston Perez, War Wizard RJ Turner, and Virginia Giant Cliff Val. Seaconk, Massachusetts, also for Renegade. Air Mail, Jordan Fisher, Hurricane Force, Steve Thompson, Illuminator, Daniel Donnelly, Jurassic Attack, Preston Collins, Stinger, Unleashed, CJ Retuins, Toxic with Corey Snyder, All-Star Monster Truck Tour in Erie, Pennsylvania. Of course, Mac Bulldog Mac was here for this show. I think Jack, did you or either one of you did you all get results from this show?
Um,
I remember that Montana sweep show won. Apart from that, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the one Riley was at. Which of course he went to Pittsburgh the day after. So lineup includes Behind Bars with Lloyd Twitchell, Crazy Train Tryon Robbins, playing Crazy Montana Robbins, as previously mentioned, he swept show one. Psycho Circus Mason Rife, and the return of Raising Cane under the Robbins team. Not with JR this time, under the Robbins. So great new. I also return for the, of course, one of the iconic trucks from the 2010s. What do you guys think on that?
absolute W. Bringing back this name and having Buddy Tompkins drive it, it is incredible. And it looks pretty clean. I know it's not the same like as it used to be with the blue chassis, but I think the black chassis kind of fits it well too.
Yeah, I really like it. It's nice to have it back. I think that was one of the more iconic independents towards the mid to late 2010s. And that being brought up reminded me that I believe Buddy actually did win freestyle in the last show. I don't remember if he got the overall as well, but I do believe he won freestyle, which is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, I love to see Raising Cane back after about 4 years. Maybe five actually. I think was his last show before they got sold off to Triple B, which sad what they became. But anyway, I was surprised that Raising King was coming back. I know we were hearing the rumors for the last couple days before that, and lo and behold, it's back. I'm not. Are we sure that this is gonna be like from now, like full on from now on after this weekend that Raising King is with the Robins now?
I
I hope,
believe it is because it's their build, so the
Yeah,
chassis at least will be, I think.
yeah.
yeah,
Also
I
a
hope
little.
so.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, having Buddy Tompkins back in full time competition would be absolute cinema. I'm sure everybody would be happy about that.
Well, everybody liked that. That's for sure. Little eerie facts. This is a team that have K's in all of their names.
Oh, oh yeah, that's right.
They all have a K in them. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, crazy,
that's crazy.
crazy, and Kane. Like, oof. Yeah. It's just a little weird eerie fact that I just found out about. But Raising Cane is back in the Big 2-6. Of course, I had a great weekend. We'll see you hopefully next time in this upcoming weeks. Tacoma, Colorado, for the Monster Fest. Of course, this was on June 21st, Father's Day. The lineup includes Avenger Jim Kohler, Brutus John Kohler on the Mayhem chassis, Jurassic Attack Tim Hall Jr., Kamikaze. They have here listed Bam Christensen, but it was actually Travis Hall. Rockwell Red, Alex Barton, and Velociraptor Carson Williams. Of course, I haven't put up the show video yet. I haven't even made it. I was supposed to make it last night. I got home completely passed out. I was trying to get him. I was gonna try and make it in the morning. I just really lost track of that. Um, but however, I do have results here from the show itself. I've also on my Instagram. Um, Two wheel skills winner was Jurassic Attack Tim Hall Jr. putting on a great display of his two wheel skills maneuver, one wheel maneuver actually, for his first attempt. Uh, Hopefully we see something like that for the skills championship next week. Racing almost goes 2 for 2 is Tim Hall Jr., but Jim Kohler in Avenger takes that away. And for freestyle is once again Jurassic Attack Tim Hall Jr. almost on a full clean sweep, but he takes he takes home some hardware. He's gonna take that back to Cadillac, Michigan for his dad. Is like he said, both in the show and in his Instagram post. But great show yesterday they had. It was absolutely windy, a little absolutely dusty. My ears were all full of dust. Um, when it comes to this show, we have other side acts. We do have like Demo X, Demo Derby. We have a motorcycle stunt team for our intermission show. Um, which they always do great. The Demo X and Demo Derby are is great to watch. It's just demo racing pretty much. But the cycle stunt team is the one I do have a bit of complaint about because every other year they do have a lot of people. They usually have just one guy do a burnout, uh, which is cool. Like always, burnouts are fun. But this time around, they had way more people, and they had about 4 guys doing them this time. And like I said, it was so windy. Uh, Mind you, I'm sitting in the front stretch, and they are on the front stretch. So as they're doing burnouts, all 4 of them, they're almost suffocating us with tire smoke. Some we're just
Oh
secretly
wow.
dying out there with dirt in our mouths already with mixed in with tire dust. So we're like, I told Haba, I was like, "Look, bro." And I mean, they give him a sticker, so he just gives it to me. I was like, I mean, I'll keep that, but they almost did kill us today, which is funnier. But yeah, that I mean, when it's a windy, don't do a whole lot, bro. Like, especially just like go back to one person. Don't go to like almost a whole fleet just doing them. It was insane, but it was a cool show, nonetheless. Next up, Cortez, Colorado, 8 hours down. Well, 10 hours down from Tacoma. Uh, this is 2 days before Monster Fest, 19th and 20th. This is Team Throttle Monster Trucks Tour with Jurassic Attack, Tim Hall Jr., Kamikaze, Bam Christensen listed. I didn't go to this show. I had other things to take care of, and also work was one of them. Rockwell Red, Alex Barton, Shell Shock, Dalton Widener, Velociraptor, Carson Williams, and Vendetta Mike Christensen. I did ask Tim how long it took them to get up from Cortez up to the Kono on this overnight. He did say it took them about 10 hours because their show finished up like around 9, and they packed up pretty fast and they left around 10. They got up there around 8:30, which is
Oh
insane.
wow.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, they had a show down there. I didn't go, but for the people that did, hope you all enjoyed it. Monster Truck Mayhem in Joliet, Illinois, and the famous Route 66 Dirt Oval with this lineup including Avenger Joe Foley, Axe Kevin Crocker, Blockhead Darren Basil, Derek Crew David Alford, High Tide Jacob Ladwig, Little Miss Madness Athena Kozel, Tailgater Tim Jones, Twisted Addiction Trip Jones, and of course, if anyone's seen the video from Elliot or the High Tide team or Sinistar, uh, they had Jacob Ladwig driving again since since his team's motorhome was breaking down, of course, with the rat attack on it. So Elliot was nice enough to give him the keys once again for High Tide. But that is all the independent shows we had this past weekend. Starting off with Lexington, Kentucky for the jam shows we had this last weekend, and also a independent debut onto jams. So going off with Novigen for Lexington, what were the results?
Yeah, let's take a look at what happened here in Lexington, Kentucky, shall we? So, your lineup consisted of Gravedigger, Matt Cody, and El Toro Loco, MJ Solorio. You also have for felt drivers from Stadium East, Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash, Colt Stevens, and Thunder Roars, Michaela Teluchka and Megalodon, and Bryce Teluchka in Zombie. So, filling in for Big Brother Brandon. And then Senda Motorsports, Chucky Plotkin and Classroom Crusher, and Kylie Kent driving Frostbite. That is right. Monster Jam finally gave Senda Motorsports the green light to run Frostbite in a Monster Jam event. And it's weird that it comes in a show where 7 out of the 8 trucks are Feld owned names. But having the polar bear out there on the Monster Jam track was incredible to see. But what happened this weekend in Lexington, Kentucky? Let's take a look. So JCB timed racing on Saturday afternoons. They had 2 shows this weekend. Their winner was Chucky Plotkin and the Classroom Crusher, who also won the 2-wheel skills competition, but he would not win the overall event championship. Gravedigger would beat Classroom Crusher in freestyle. So Gravedigger's first in that competition, and Chucky Pocket finished fourth. So that put him in a tie in points. Gravedigger wins the tiebreaker by winning freestyle. So Matt Cody walks away with the first overall event championship of the weekend. And then Sunday afternoon, JCB Racing, your time racing winner for Father's Day. It is the father of two twin boys. That is Colt Stevens and Thunder Roris getting it done. Your two-wheel skills challenge winner is MJ Solorio and El Toro Loco. And freestyle winner is Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash, but she would finish 3 points shy of the overall event championship. That would go to MJ Solorio and the El Toro Loco. So Matt Cody and MJ both getting a share of the overall event championships in Lexington.
Talking about one of the few things here. First off is, of course, CP3 Charlie Pocket in third, with Classroom Crusher almost taking a full sweep for himself on the first show. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think? How do you guys take that? For the near future for Charlie Pocket, Chucky Pocket.
Get him in stadiums. Him and Lil Sim both, I think. You know, from what I've heard, supposedly there's a good chance of two independents uh, getting stadium spots from arenas, and I've heard a couple different pairs tossed around. But if I had the choice to pick the duo to move up, I'd have to pick those two. I mean, one, John Zimmer Jr. is already two series championships in. I think it's only fair, and I mean. Evidently, Chucky Pocket has already displayed the skill necessary to outperform probably 80% of the independents currently in stadiums. So I think it could definitely be pretty interesting to see, but he definitely has a pretty big career, and I think it's going to be coming up pretty quick.
Yeah, it was a bummer he didn't completely get the sweep that one day in Lexington, but he did win some competitions, performed overall pretty well, and that is a big confidence booster, I believe, especially this close to the World Finals, because he is heading into his first LCQ appearance. So every little bit of victory, even though it's not a points event, every bit helps the closer he gets to competing in Salt Lake City.
Also, the other thing to talk about here is Bryce Tolochka's debut. However, for most rookies, they don't. Most rookies' debuts also don't really, or years in that case for Kylie. Their first shows don't go well. For Bryce, however, like we've seen him in skills, and he don't really look like he. It looked like Brandon Tolochka was driving out there, same exact move skills and all. Jack, I want to talk to you first about that. How do you take from that?
Sorry, my audio cut out for a second. What do I take from what?
From Bryce's debut in his
Oh,
older brother's truck.
yeah, he's definitely gonna be another very good independent in what seems to be a rapidly increasing pool of talent. I mean, you look at the independent scene from 3, 4 years ago, really not that great. I mean, just looking at Monster Jam 2022, you had guys like Preston Perez, Craig Champion, the Hall brothers, um, Nitro Menace, Jailbird, a lot of people that were kind of just fillers in the field because there weren't that many drivers who were super out there at the time. But now it seems like every driver who debuts in Monster Jam already has so much talent that they're going to become one to look out for. I think Bryce is no exception. He came in show one and immediately put down a cooler skills move than anything Michaela has done in skills. I mean, he did the whole handstand and everything. So I really think give him a year or two, he could be just as much of a threat as Brandon Toluchka is. So, it's just really impressive to me to see how quickly the talent for the independents is, coming up. With the Robbins brothers, I mean, right when they joined, they were already really good. Brandon Toluchka has always been a big threat. Just this year we see Chucky Pauken join. We see Tim Hall Jr. really come to light. It's just crazy how the independent scene is shifting right now, and they're becoming just as threatening as Feld drivers. And I think Bryce Toluchka, in that regard, is going to become a pretty cool driver when it comes to Monster Jam.
The future of Monster Jam runs through Bryce Tolochka and John Kohler. Like this is literally another John Kohler situation with John learning from one his father Jim and his older brother Chris, and already he's making an impact. Bryce Telechka is in that same boat. Got it from his father Mitch, and then his older brother Brandon, and big sister Michaela too. So Bryce Telechka already completing moves that Brandon's able to do as well in arenas. So maybe sooner than later we'll get to see Bryce in some more Monster Jam appearances. You never know.
Yeah, I can back up that statement for John Kohler as well. After seeing him for the second time, uh, I feel like he's absolutely ready. Maybe not on the big stages just yet, but um, like he absolutely crushed it yesterday. He didn't really win all that much in racing. He did lose to Jim. Um, I think he lost to Jim. Um, yeah, I mean, he looks like he can be a really great freestyle, especially in the independent scene, which is exciting to see. But I think that I just think this generation, next wave of drivers are definitely going to be something to see in the coming years. Um, I know we already talked about third generations, Bam being one of them, after she drove a couple of times this year, whether it was Kamikaze or Vendetta, her dad's truck. But these new waves of drivers are really coming in fast. Um, but yeah, and then also for Michaela, now we forgot to talk about this last week too. It was announced that she will be replaced in the LCQ by with Matt Pagrulo Jester, which a deserved spot, I think. But she will be out because she is learning practicing medical school, and I guess she got her first time. I think she got her first gig there at a. Um, I don't know. I kind of don't remember where exactly in what in that field, but she will be out for World Finals. So I think that would just potentially open the door for Bryce if Michaela decides to stay with the medical field for the next season. But yeah, man, these new drivers are already like off the go, exciting.
We love our new generation of independent drivers.
Yeah. So next up is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, for the last stadium show, the go home stadium show before the World Finals. Of course, we did almost go 1 year without a single mud show. Um, and now it followed to Pittsburgh, which absolutely soupy. They did start off the first three races in round one until they had to delay for about 30 minutes. So with the full muddy and all, they still continued. And so, Jack, what were the results from Acrisure Stadium, Pittsburgh?
Yeah, so Pittsburgh, as was just mentioned, this was a super muddy show. I even thought we were going to make it the whole year with that one, but I could be proven wrong, clearly. And, it was a little disappointing to see that rain come in with a lineup as stacked as this. You're seeing a lot of the best independents, Mike Pagliarulo, Zach Garner, and the Zimmers all in one show. So it was unfortunate to see it get rained out, but there were a few star drivers that were able to make that work. So I'm actually going to start us in the semifinals of racing because there's actually a lot of important information in there. You're going to see Bryce Kenny take down John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity. Keep both those names in mind there as we start to head towards the overall event standings later. And then, of course, Tyler Meninga would take down Bari Musauer. And then in the racing finals, it would be Tyler taking the win from Bryce. Skills was an interesting one. Coming into the competition, Tyler said we're probably just going to see every driver do a donut. That was not true at all. We saw maybe half the field do donuts, but a lot of drivers really mixed it up, and a few of them were able to do it the best. So, of course, as is mandatory for muddy shows, we did see a couple attempts at tombstones. The most successful of that would actually appear twice on the leaderboard. So, in third place, we saw Ryan Anderson and the son of a digger. He had a successful tombstone, but was only on the front tires about maybe 7 seconds. He couldn't get too much on the board, still enough to place him pretty high up. Second place in skills would go to Zach Garner and Wildside. He was the first driver to really have a successful move. He had a pretty good sky wheelie, all things considered. I think we've gone through some shows this year that didn't have air as big as Zach's sky wheelie was, which for a mud show is pretty impressive. That would land him in second place. But your skills winner would be John Zimmer Jr. in terminal velocity. He had a pretty similar move as he had at World Finals in 2023. Just a really nice tombstone, a move that a lot of drivers still struggle with in the track conditions that Pittsburgh had. Well, John Zimmer Jr. made it look really easy. He would be the only driver to get a score in the nines in the competition. A pretty impressive move. I think he was on it for 20, 30 seconds. So, as I've been saying over and over again, the second generation independent talent is here. Then we had the freestyle competition. This one was pretty interesting as well. Some more shakeups as the night went on. Um, you know, there was an interesting tone to freestyle because for a mud show, it wasn't all that bad. A lot of drivers were actually able to make it work really well, but some weren't. Notably, there was a lot of early breakage, such as with Ryan Anderson, who broke a 4-link bar. John Zimmer Jr. broke a sway bar. Um, and there were a couple others. I can't recall who off the top of my head. And some drivers just really couldn't get it figured out. Notably, Tom Foolery. Their wheelbase is a little different than some of the others, and they run different BKTs than the Feld trucks do. So Mike Pagliarulo notably had a very rough time in freestyle, but a few drivers were able to make it work. So landing in third was Bryce Kenny in the Tech Deck Rec Deck. All around pretty good freestyler, and he's able to carry that into the mud. I believe he did do a backflip, which is cool. You don't see those every day at shows like this. Second place goes to Corey Rummel in the Bailey Circuit. He had a really good run, pretty consistent air. There wasn't any shortage of good moments from him. Some drivers really just take their time in shows like this, but Corey Rummel stayed with it, had a few good sends in there, even had a little bit of a save on the sidewalls, but all that wouldn't be enough by the time Tyler Menninga came out. I mean, his run would have been a winning freestyle on a clear, sunny day with good track conditions, let alone a day like Pittsburgh had. He had plenty of good air, the backflip, and then not just was it the container backflip, he actually did the 8-pack backflip, nailed it. He got pretty high up, but he landed perfectly. And then immediately, as he's driving away from it, he hits a cross thread on the center obstacle and gets a second backflip off of it. He said he didn't intend to do that. I don't entirely believe that. That's one of the most classic tricks there is. That would break him a sway bar. His run would come to a little bit of an early end, but it was enough to get him the freestyle win. In the end, with the overall, Tyler would be a one to get it done with a total of 31 points, trying to get some good momentum heading into the World Finals. I'm sure he wants a better one this year than last. Second place goes to Bari Musauer in the Zombie. Again, still representing the Stars and Stripes scheme in preparation for the World Finals. Bari also setting a precedent for the World Finals with that success he had. And third place goes to John Zimmer Jr. He was really in the runnings for the overall, and he probably would have had it if his freestyle wasn't cut halfway through. But yeah, as mentioned, for a mud show, this was really not that bad at all. I'd say it was better than all the mud shows we saw last year. We had a pretty fair amount of wow moments, good amount of good air, a few backflips in there, and even some actual technical moves. So I think Pittsburgh was a pretty fun one, all things considered. What about you guys?
Yeah, for a mud show, Pittsburgh, the track conditions, I guess, kind of got better. It still wasn't perfect, but you can tell as time goes on, like throughout the event, especially in freestyle, I guess most of the drivers got more, I don't want to say comfortable, but they got more used to the track conditions. They adapted to the situation, especially Tyler. I mean, my gosh, he can't, we can't let him keep getting away from this. I mean, even on a muddy track, he's able to like do the A-pack backflip and go into the side of the step up and quote accidentally do another backflip as well. But my gosh, Tyler, if I mean that is the kind of run that he needed to get himself ready for World Finals and get some payback. Only thing now is Tyler, don't do a stoppie for your first hit in freestyle. at World Finals. But that's another topic for another day. Overall, great showing for everybody at Pittsburgh.
I didn't get to see the entire show. I was busy with something else, but I did see a few things here and there. So if anything, I have to say they really did try the best with what they could. Of course, stadium is the one thing we can't. Stadium, excuse me. Weather is the one thing we can't control. So you know, they did all they could. Uh, like Novicin said, it track somehow didn't get all better throughout the rest of the show. It somewhat, they just had to adapt to whatever the situation was going on. And as for the skills challenge too, they finally decided to do something else that wasn't the exact same things they were doing all season. So like Matt was already doing donuts the whole season. Um, there we've seen a few donuts here and there. We did see a sky wheelie from Zach. Freestyle, however, too. Yeah, I didn't get to see freestyle at all. I only seen Tyler Meninga's second backflip, and that was about it. So yeah, I got to say, I'd say they really had to make do with what they could. Uh, However, poor people, track crew and crew guys too, all absolutely muddy tracks and all,
Brett,
especially for our friend Brett, who had the opportunity to crew for this yeah work this show, and he told us it was an experience to say the least.
my gosh, I can't imagine go through what he did.
Yeah, apparently it took them like hours to get all that mud out. Yeah, poor
Jeez,
guys. Even like
I can't.
poor guys. Even having to wash them out, it took them a while.
I can only imagine how much time it took for all the teams to get the mud off their truck.
Yeah, especially with a lot of them getting ready for World Finals next week. As I saw in Mike Pagrilla's story earlier, where uh, the last thing they wanted was to wash out all the mud 4 days before they go off World Finals.
Jeez.
But yeah, that's the monster truck scene for everyone, and that is it for all the shows we had this past weekend. Just mostly jam and independent. Which we'll see the upcoming shows we have this upcoming weekend. I don't think we have a lot to cover if that's the case. I hope kind of don't. Um, yeah, we don't have to cover a whole lot. So, starting off with Monster Truck Nitro Tour in Castle Rock, Washington, with Barefoot Paul Craighead, Boss Gator Brandon Leach, Hammer Down James Owens, Rampage Josh Garrity, and Werewolf Stanley Hernandez. Allentown, Pennsylvania, Backdraft Justin Perkins, Bad News Travels Fast Brendan DeRoe, Metal Monster Shane Grunseth, Mighty Girl Camouflage and Brood, Monster Trucks Maniac in Lufkin, Texas, and Greenville, Texas. TBA slots for all across, so we'll see what the lineups look like soon. Glendon, Minnesota for Monster Truck Wars, Locomotive, Justin Murphy, Shark Attack, Jeff Murphy, T Rex, Thomas Kimmons, and Wicked Sickness, Mark Andrew. Malicious Monster Truck Tour in Yuba City, California. Same lineups as always for the Straight Up Racing team. Monster Trucks All Out in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Strathmore, Alberta. Bucking Bronco, Outfox, RoboShark, and T-Rex, but no drivers listed. So we'll see on that. Oyster Bed, that's the name. From Monster
Wow.
Madness PA. I wish I had a Canadian. Tell me which province this is. TBH slots for all the this show as well. We'll see that soon. Burlington, Kentucky for Full Throttle Monster Trucks and Greenfield, Indiana. For Burlington, it'll feature Bigfoot Roger Gager, Blockhead Darren Beazle, Dirt Crew Tommy Veralone, Dirt Crew Dozer and David Alford, and Maximus Jared Smith. Greenfield, Indiana, American Scout Colton Kaiser, Bigfoot Roger Gager, Country Strong Eric Howe, Stomper Dalton Vanskiok. Fort Wayne, Indiana, also Full Throttle with Bigfoot Roger Gager, Country Strong Eric Howe, Monkey Business Thomas Borders, Ray Besso's Powertrain, Jasmine Borders, and Stomper Dalton Vanskiok. Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, Renegade Monster Trucks. Crash Station Greg Wickenbach, Jurassic Attack Preston Collins, Lumberjack Zach Wickenbach, Velociraptor Preston Perez, and War Wizard RJ Turner. Morris, Illinois for 2X Monster Trucks with Jekyll and Hyde Corey Kinald, King Sling Jeremiah Perez, Rowan Rex with the Nuge Mike Nugent, and Sharkbite with Dan the Man Doggerin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mason, Michigan All-Star Monster Truck Tour with Frostbite Kylie Kent, the Haymaker Chucky Pocken, Kraken Nick Pagarulo, Misfire Brooke Pagarulo, and Psycho Circus Mason Rife. And then finally, Monsters of Destruction in Pleasanton, California with Anubis Jared Compton, Dragon Slayer Caden Morris, Farmageddon Craig Christensen back, Obsessed Eric Swanson, and Pretty Obsessed Misha Swanson. So that is the lineups we have for this upcoming week 26 of the 2026 season. So we are now in the final stretch before the World Finals. So if anything, I think next week we'll have a World Finals prediction show. So anything else we gotta talk about before we start closing out here?
Let's talk about this awesome World Finals pit party map.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Better than last year's, that's for sure.
It's
All
way
the-
more organized. My favorite part about it is the main stage this year, instead of just kind of being in the middle, there's like a pathway of monster trucks you have to walk through to get to it. Like it's kind of like the Thunder Alley of the main stage. Like there's literally a tunnel of monster trucks to walk through. I really like that. It's a good rearrangement that I think will add a lot more personality.
Yeah. See if I can find
all
that.
the El Toro logos we're going to see at the display. Ice, Stars and Stripes, Yellow, Nitro, and Black. El Toro logo Black is back. Let's go.
So hearing word is that Jamie Garner will be in the El Toro Loco Black. Of course, he is literally in no competition at all other than the stunt, which is also not a competition. But let's talk about the El Toro Loco section first, since we do have all of them that are finally revealed. Oh, hello. We have all of them that are finally revealed. So it is similar to the Gravedigger 40th anniversary display they had a couple years back. Like Nafajin said, it was El Toro Loco Ice, Stars and Stripes Yellow, Nitro, and Black in that same order. And above them, it looks like one of the red bodies. It is heard that it is all of the new molds bodies. Well, we're not 100% on that just yet, but the top one I believe will be hung over, like the Gravedigger displays I just said. Of course, they will have an El Toro logo off to the side, and then they will have all the Gravedigger El Toro logo drivers on the same tent. I believe with Lupe Souza. But what do you guys, especially you, Jack? I'm gonna start with you first. What do you think on this section for the El Toro logo 25th?
Oh, absolutely sick, you know. Um, I think it's going to be a much more exciting pit party than previous World Finals because there's a lot of exciting stuff happening this year. It's the 25th World Finals, and then of course El Toro Loco also celebrating 25 years. It's just going to be awesome, and it's nice to see it get a dedicated section. It's always had one, but it's kind of just four El Toro Locos scattered around, and then the line to meet the drivers. This time, I think it's going to be a lot cooler. Yeah, I personally have never seen a truck being hung by like a crane or anything before. So if that is what ends up happening, that'll be pretty sick. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a pretty cool setup. It's one that I think we're all ready to take some good pictures of everyone that's going, and I'm pretty pumped to see it myself.
All right, now, Fajin, what do you think on that?
Yeah, I like this. I like the selection of the El Toro logo bodies. Well, first of all, the yellow and the black. I'm very interested in seeing how the black looks on the new body, if that is indeed what they're going with. It is on the render for the pit party, so I assume that's what they're going with. For Ice and Nitro, if that's on the new mold as well, that's to be determined. But what would have been cool is for the Orange El Toro Loco that's jumping over the other 5 trucks, if it was the original orange El Toro Loco, kind of like with the white horns and the original font format, all spaced out on the truck. That would have been cool to see, but hey, I'm behind this and just looking to see like how else they celebrate the Crazy Bull at World Finals.
Yeah, I for one love this display. I can't wait to see it in person. Um, yeah, I nothing else. I think it all took exactly what I wanted to say. Um, right next to it on the corner, for some reason they have this in the farthest corner, is the Gravedigger section. Of course, they will be featuring all the competing ones except for Stars and Stripes. So I'll be Primer, Legends, Grandma, and of course the current Gravedigger, so the Legacy trucks. Of course, all the Gravedigger drivers will be in this tent. Um, as so, one thing that we did see from Brett that he shared to us is that they're doing a like assigned queue meet and greet for the Gravedigger drivers. He said this might be for old finals as well since they tried it out in Pittsburgh. Jack, especially you, since you are gonna get to experience this, what do you think on that queued meet and greet for the Gravedigger drivers?
I think conceptually it's a really good idea. Obviously, I can't really make a true opinion until I experience it, but I think it's a good idea. Um, I worry about how they're estimating it. I feel like they could either force way too many people in a time slot or way too little. Uh, I'm not sure how they're planning to calculate the flow of who needs to be where when. And my other concern about it is I don't know if it's only going to be a digger thing or if a few trucks might have it. Uh, I am concerned about uh, the difficulties that could come of trying to, get all the different trucks, but you're so backlogged into all these queues that there's just no possibility of that happening. I'm sure maybe the independents won't have this system. I think it will maybe be for Toros and Diggers and Ryan, uh, maybe a couple others like Meg. But yeah, I think in concept it's a really good idea. Um, but I think there's a lot of things that need to happen for it to play out well. I think if it doesn't work out, there's going to be a lot of unhappy people, and I think it is going to make it a little harder to, navigate the pit party since you're not as free to go around. But um, I do like the idea again, the concept of it, essentially reducing a 3 hour wait to do whatever you want and then just show up. I think that's a really good change. So to me, I think it comes down to how well it's handled, uh, how the time slots are administered, and of course, how many trucks does it apply to? Because if it only applies to those trucks with the really long lines and you queue up for Gravedigger and you think, oh, okay, now I have time to go get 10 independent drivers. I think it's a great system. But again, it's really going to come down to how it's handled. So yeah, we'll see. But um, the idea of it, I do like.
All right, now
Yeah,
if it,
for me,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm somewhere in the middle. But like Jack said, there are some good points. Like it can go ahead and go to some other drivers, have some time before actually going to meet like the Gravedigger or Son of a Digger, El Toro Loco, and so on. But then again, it just takes away from the original feel of being at the pit party or sprinting to your favorite truck. And now there's just a lot, maybe just too much technology being implemented into the pit party setup.
Yeah, I for one, I mean, to me, I kind of realize this is like kind of like Comic Con styled, um, where they have you at a certain time slot meet the celebrities. In this case, the drivers. I agree with Jack. I actually might kind of like it if it gives you like certain times to go and choose the time that you can go meet them. Of course, they're gonna have breaks in probably in between the pit parties since they're back to long pit parties. Um, so I'm interested to see how that will work if they will give you enough time to go meet everyone else. If they give this sort of assigned queues to everybody else to all the drivers. So it'll be interesting to see how they work this out. Of course, we also have our dyno displays with Jurassic Attack, Velociraptor, Thunderors on next to El Toro Locos. Next to them is the Sparkle Smash area. Of course, it's going to be featuring the two smart Sparkle Smashes with Tropical. Not sure who will be in those tents, of course, because you have like 4 or 5 different Sparkle Smash drivers now. For the middle, oh, they have a fiberglass section right in the corner of them too. Which last year's selection was banger. I wish they have something cooler for this year too. They had a Max D Fire, one and I didn't go. Taken by Wyatt. Sad. Max, you disappointed me. They have a not Virgin. Jack said they do have a where main stage is down the middle. Of course, we get to go through the trucks, make it feel special. The ones onto the right side of the stage, we'll be seeing Avenger, Mayhem, Team Scream, Jester, and Excalibur, Plane Crazy, Crazy Train, and Terminal Velocity. And then, of course, across from them, you'll be having a few failed identities too. Locus Stabilizer with the unnamed truck right behind it. So it'll be interesting to see. Shell Shocks and Vendetta, Black Pearl and Wildside, and of course Earthshaker next. Across from that area, you have the other booths: Zany, Texas Roadhouse, Northern Tool and Equipment, Lucas Oil, and then you have another booth for merch. Of course, they have one for dining room merchandise. Also, you have the big tents. Across from the Stars and Stripes trucks, you'll be seeing 3 different of those actually, or 5. No, yeah, you'll be seeing 7 of them. You'll be seeing, of course, on the right side with across from Avenger and Mayhem are the Stars and Stripes, Gravedigger's the Legends, Gravedigger, excuse me, Sparkle Smash, and Ultra Loco. And of course, on the other side, you'll be having the 2 new ones, of course, that being Dalmatian Stars and Stripes. Of course, can't wait to see how that looks in person. Zombie Stars and Stripes, and of course, Megalodon Stars and Stripes. Of course, across is the merchandise. So on the other side, you'll be having the Megalodon section, of course, with the Stars and Stripes there. So you'll be seeing, except for Michaela Talashka, you'd be seeing, and John Gordon. He will not be there apparently. So you'll be seeing majority of the Megalodon drivers. As for Ashley Sanford, who knows? She's not cleared, but maybe they'll bring her out for pay party at least. Give people a chance to meet her since she's been out. Of course, next to them is the JCB area with the Dig Zone and Dig Squad displayed out. Of course, Tristan and Tony Oaks will be out here, not Brandon Arthur. Stars and Stripes will be located here as well. On the other side, actually in between this, you'll be having the Champions Walk, which is another cool thing to see. Of course, Champions Walk is one of the famous parts of the World Finals where you get to see the past World Finals champions from 2000 and present. So you'll be seeing Zombie on its own, Classroom Crusher area, the Power Rush display with, of course, a Nintendo Switch competition booth. Nafigen, what do you think this could be?
There's no telling. First thing that came to mind was a throwback to whenever Monster Jam had video game competitions like Urban Assault on the Wii or Path of Destruction on the Xbox, PlayStation, whatever it was. I guess this may be like a Monster Jam Showdown tournament on Nintendo Switch, or maybe fans are going to try to win an actual Nintendo Switch or a Switch 2. You never know. You just got to go there and see what it's actually all about.
Of course, located next to Power Rush is interesting. And of course, Son of a Digger, it's on its lonesome on next to Power Rush with a field of dirt, apparently. So I guess they will have display of fiberglass bodies like you do for the Digger one. Of course, if everyone remembers, this is the 15th anniversary of Son of a Digger. So it is just the one truck alone. Of course, Ryan and Anderson will be there. But that's most parts for the truck displays. Behind them is the right truck Q zone. Freestyle Mania, the FMX competition, will be on the side right next to the cemetery, which is interesting. And then, of course, right next to them, behind them, is the RC World Finals Championship. So, pretty solid pit party lineup. Oh, there's the other side I almost forgot about, too. Of course, So, of course, next in the main stage, you'll be seeing the slides. Monster Mud Rough and Tough Challenge. That's interesting. Uh, you'll be seeing a gaming tent here too, which maybe will be Monster Jam Showdown there as well. I'm not sure. Uh, which we have two of them. You have a builder zone, which one of them is the Monstruction build zone. Mini Monster Ride On, coloring station shade under the shade tents. And here you'll be seeing other truck fleets. Uh, in here, you'll also be seeing Ringley and Bailey circuits. Interesting enough, they have a hopscotch next to it. They have the driver's license, mini jam, World Finals merchandise. This is the kids section. Of course, you'll also be we'll be seeing over here the Spin Master area where Gravedigger, Stars and Stripes, and Tech Deck Reg Deck will be at, and of course a hub to hub demonstration. I believe this is from like the old Thunder Alley days. They might have them at past World Finals pit parties. The Blippi Monster Jam truck, Novagen's favorite, will be right there. Of course, you will get to meet Blippi at World Finals for some reason. And of course, Monster Mud Dalmatian will be at the corner as well. The kids zone looks interesting, to say the least. The gaming tent is caught my eye there. I don't know how they will do it. But yeah, this year's pit party definitely looks solid. I definitely like this a lot more. Of course, on the entrance party, pit party entrance, you'll be seeing other stuff like the merchandise, the Hall of Fame tents. Lupe Souza and Tom Entz will both be there. I believe Dennis. I don't know if they will have any other Hall of Fames drivers here like Gary Porter and Dennis, and of course Scott Douglas. Um, VIP experience Ticketmaster check-in, of course. You've seen those at regular shows. The BKT tire removal demonstration presented by UNOH. Dragon will be on its own across from Son of a Digger with O'Reilly Auto Parts next to it. I believe that is a booth. And I believe that is pretty much it from this pit parties map. And I do say it looks 100% way better than last year's. Jack, you got to experience last year. What do you think about this year's versus last year's?
Like I mentioned specifically with the main stage thing, this one is much more organized, and I think it'll be a lot easier to navigate. Um, Last year they kind of just threw up on the parking lot. They ate a bunch of monster trucks for breakfast, and they threw it all up on the ground. This year, I think they actually took their time, arranged it carefully, and um, I think it's going to be a lot easier to get around. Like I mentioned, the first thing that I specifically really like is there's a pathway directly through a bunch of trucks to get to the main stage. I think that's a huge upgrade from last time, where it's kind of like last time it was like going through a huge maze. Um, there were like sideways roads, everything was diagonal across from each other. This year it's much more uniform. Everything's a straight path to somewhere else. Um, like you see it here, it's called where the champions walk is. There's four nicely arranged sections for zombie, classroom crusher, power rush, son of a digger. Really good setup, right? It's a straight, perfect line, and then same thing. If you're on the far end, right where the entrance is, there's a gravedigger spot, a Toro spot, a dinosaur spot, and a sparkle smash spot, all in one big line. It's much more uniform, in rows and columns, rows and columns. It'll be a lot easier to navigate. It's going to look a lot better. And I think it's going to be overall a much nicer experience. Also, last year, all the way on the far end of the stadium was where they had all like the independent trucks, which was a really weird setup. This year, they're putting Freestyle Mania and the RC stuff there, which I think is good. If you want to go see the side acts, there's a side act area. They're not taking up, the whole middle section. I think that's a huge upgrade as well. So yeah, I think it's a really, really good layout. I think it's super well done. Um, you can tell where you need to go at all times. It's not like you're getting lost out there. Um, and as a side note, it looks like the weather's going to be a lot nicer than last year. So obviously that's not a Monster Jam thing, but it will make the pit party a lot nicer if that does end up being the case.
Yeah, interesting pit party layout they had this year. It really does feel like in Las Vegas World Finals pit party type. Uh, with how they laid out the trucks, where they put the side axle, where they put the ride trucks. It's like they didn't even put it off to the side where they put normally for like the stadium pit party shows. They put it somewhere in like in between, not like where it's all far off to the side. They put it somewhere in the middle where you can at least go through that too. Um, so it looks like you can do a lot here in this pit party. A few trucks are stranded out for sure. Dragons, literally just stranded out. Um, but other than that, this is a great uh pit party layout for this year's World Finals. Uh, now that you said weather looks great and permitting, I really hope that's the case because we would hope if we would it would suck if Thunder all of a sudden just came in and be like, I'm gonna run it for you. But we do have
Almost happened last year.
I know. I remember that. Plus, there is 3 days this time around instead of. Well, I mean, there was 3 days last year. Uh, only just that first day was the qualifying and everything else. This year they
Right.
do officially count 3 because of skills and high jump on Thursday. So there looks like a lot of time, and like I said, with the uh time queues for the Gravedigger drivers, it will be interesting to see how everyone can manage through that. Hopefully, they do kind of have it like limited to a certain amount because I know a lot of people try to take certain time slots where like it's like at 2 or like early enough at like 11. But that'll be interesting to see. I'm interested to see how this pit party will work out in person. Of course, another thing to talk about is the Monster Jam stunt truck itself. It Stars and Stripes with the 2020 body that we've seen for the last couple of years. Of course, we've seen the 30th anniversary stunt with it by Tom Hanks. But apart from everything aside, this looks like it's shaping up to be a great World Finals, pit party wise and show wise. So yeah, everything's looking good this time around.
Yeah, for sure. Very excited. Just the whole setup, the schedule, everything's better.
Yeah,
So hopefully that can carry over to the competitions as well.
yeah. Hopefully Thursday night will be a lot. There'll be a lot of expectations, especially for Mike Christensen, Tim Hall Jr. A lot of people pulling out for Chucky Pocken. Some did pull out, or hopefully pulling out for Brendan Talashka as well, or the Robins. But only time can tell. We're 1 week out from the World Finals. Like I said, we will have a World Finals show. Go home to the week of. But other than that, anything else we gotta go through?
Not to my memory. It's just going to be a big, exciting week leading up to the big show. I already feel the excitement coming in. Nothing gets me excited as a Monster Jam show. And put that times 10 when it's the World Finals. Biggest one we've had in almost 10 years now. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah. So I believe I will start doing it. So don't forget to follow the accounts at SDSL Off the Track on Instagram. Listen to us on Spotify and YouTube. Of course, we upload every week. Upload around 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Pacific. Sorry. Follow the main account Steel Time Sports League on Instagram and YouTube, and of course there'll be merch. That link will be in the description down below on YouTube and Spotify. But other than that, I think that'll be it for Nafigen from Hawaii. Jackinator and I am Lane Flores. We'll see you guys next time for some more Monster Trucks. See ya.